It's 1990 in Tunisia. The last execution in the history of the country is about to begin. But something unusual happened. The heart of the man sentenced to die that day refused to stop beating until the clock hit the 14-minute mark. A bizarre coincidence, as it echoes his 14 victims. Naceur Damergi, born in 1944 amid scandal and rejection, became Tunisia's most infamous serial killer. He kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered 14 children, boys and girls, aged 10 to 18, luring them to his isolated farm with promises of work and burying their bodies in shallow graves across his property. His red motorbike became a harbinger of death, and his crimes a blend of twisted lust and vengeful rage stemming from a lifetime of betrayal. Intelligent, yet tormented, Damergi confessed without remorse, revealing a man shaped by abandonment into a predator. This is his story, his dark origins, the gruesome details of his killings, and the chilling confessions that exposed his fractured mind. His life began in infamy on October 31st, 1944, in Tunis during French colonial rule. His mother, Haria, a prostitute, fell pregnant after a brief affair with a man from a rural area, leading to her imprisonment while carrying him. Born at Charles Nicolle Hospital behind bars, Damergi spent his earliest days in confinement. Upon release, Haria married a farmer and registered her son under his name to mask the stigma of illegitimacy in a conservative society. Yet the truth haunted him. He wouldn't meet his biological father until age 30, growing up deprived of paternal love and burdened by whispers of his origins. But trauma mounted. A severe traffic accident caused a 30% brain concussion, sparking mental disorders, social withdrawal, and pedophilic tendencies. Psychiatrists later diagnosed him with deep psychological complexes from abandonment, including overwhelming seizures where heat surged through his body, erasing inhibitions. The turning point was romantic betrayal. In 1964, engaged to his beloved cousin Razia, Damergi migrated to France for better opportunities, working for 4 years abroad. Returning in 1968, he discovered that she was married to another man, a heartbreak that ignited seething resentment toward women, her family, and society. He harbored this grudge for 2 decades, living as a reclusive farmer near Naboul. Financially secure, but emotionally fractured, he viewed murder as a way to settle old accounts, blending vengeance with his deviant urges. This toxic mix would erupt in 1971, transforming isolation into lethality. Damergi's killing spree ignited in 1987, around midday on a quiet roadside. Spotting 10-year-old Mohammed alone, he approached on his signature red motorbike, offering paid work harvesting almonds on his farm. The innocent boy, trusting the farmer's unthreatening demeanor, agreed and rode with him to the isolated property. As Mohammed climbed an almond tree, his skin was exposed, triggering Damergi's impulses. He lured the child inside and revealed his true intent, offering bribes to buy silence. When Mohammed refused, screamed, and tried to flee, Damergi chased him down, clamped one hand over his mouth to stifle cries, and pressed the other on his neck until he stopped moving. Believing the boy merely unconscious, Damergi waited 6 agonizing hours, attempting to revive him with water and slaps before realizing death had come. He buried Mohammed in a shallow grave amid the groves, marking his first kill, an accidental discovery of strangulation as efficient and silent. fear gripped him briefly, halting crimes until February 1988. Then, encountering 18-year-old Habib, his oldest victim, on the same rural route, Damergi repeated the ploy. Promises of farm work and pay. Once alone on the property, he attempted assault. Habib's fierce resistance triggered swift violence. Damergi strangled him without pause, then desecrated the body through necrophilia, a grotesque escalation showing his growing detachment. He buried Habib expertly, refining his concealment skills. These early murders established his modus operandi: target vulnerable youths from his city, use the motorbike for transport, isolate on the farm, assault, and eliminate resistors via strangulation. Damergi later confessed that these acts released pent-up heat waves, but his intelligence ensured no immediate trace after. On January 26, 1988, Damergi's simmering grudge boiled over in his most personal and savage crime: the murder of 13-year-old Ramzi, the son of his ex-fiancée Razia. This wasn't random. It was calculated revenge for the 1968 heartbreak that changed him forever. Having stalked Ramzi for weeks, memorizing his routines, Damergi seized a chance encounter, luring him to a secluded area with an abandoned house near his farm. Fueled by memories of his mother's disloyalty, his own abandonment, and the fiancé's betrayal, he unleashed unparalleled brutality. After the assault, Damergi mutilated Ramzi with a sharp object, stabbing and torturing him in ways unmatched by other victims, turning the assault into a ritual of retribution. Strangulation followed, but the excessive violence made this his main offense, as prosecutors later termed it. He buried the body on his farm, a hidden trophy symbolizing settled scores. In confessions, Damergi expressed no regret, viewing the kill as justice against the family that stole his happiness. "I wanted to wipe out the whole family, young and old," he says. This act marked escalation. No longer just lust-driven, his murders now intertwined with personal vendettas, amplifying his boldness. He targeted boys primarily, seeing them as extensions of his own rejected youth, and refined his lure-in methods to exploit poverty, offers of money or jobs that preyed on trusting children. By 1989, Damergi's spree had claimed over a dozen lives. Still, his final documented crimes revealed his opportunism and ruthlessness. The murders of sisters Hinda, 14, and Hanan, 10, among his few female victims. On a sweltering summer day, he spotted the girls selling prickly pears by the roadside. Fixating on Hinda, he approached on foot, offering her paid work harvesting more fruits on his farm. She hesitated because her stock had not yet been sold. He left, but as the area cleared, Damergi returned on his motorbike, forcibly taking Hinda. Hanan chased after, so he abducted her too, to eliminate the witness. At his secluded farm, he locked them in a room, threatening them with a kitchen knife. Isolating Hinda, he assaulted her while Hanan screamed and sobbed outside. Irritated by the noise disrupting his sick crime, he stabbed Hanan in the heart, leaving her to bleed out. Returning to Hinda, he completed the assault, before stabbing her similarly in the heart. He dug a hole under his bed and buried both bodies there, a chilling concealment that underscored his growing audacity. Throughout the spree, Damergi's pattern persisted. 14 victims, lured by false promises, assaulted and strangled or stabbed if they resisted. He buried them all on his farm, turning it into a macabre necropolis, sometimes covering graves with plastic to mask odors. Confessions revealed he felt no remorse, joking at exhumation sites and describing murders as releases from his inner turmoil. The mounting disappearances terrorized the country, with parents warning children of the motorcycle man. Damergi evaded capture initially, arrested and released multiple times for lack of evidence. During one escape, he killed more before his final arrest on November 27, 1989. Under interrogation, sessions video recorded and later broadcast, he confessed to all 14 murders with chilling detachment, admitting not just the known 10, but 4 more the police were unaware of. He detailed grave sites, leading authorities to the bodies while joking and laughing, showing no remorse. He didn't feel sorry for what he did. On the contrary, he loved to find time to tell a joke or laugh. Psychiatric exams confirmed his disorders, but deemed him sane. In his confessions, Damergi revealed a godlike delusion. "I am stronger than you. I know and you don't. I hold your lives in my hands." He described uncontrollable heat waves, fits where I feel intense heat. I start sweating and shaking, and there's nothing to bring me back. The fit comes quickly. The brain stops thinking. Motivations poured out. Revenge on a rejecting society, failed loves like Gia, whom he raped in 1971, leading to prison, and Halima, rejected in 1988. He killed their nephews and sons years later, saying, "Every crime Naceur Damergi committed was a reaction to an event he lived. His only regret? A jurisdictional mix-up. My mistake was if I knew the area where I buried one of the children was outside the jurisdiction of my city, I wouldn't have done it." A mirror to his resentment, hatred, and vengefulness toward the people around him. The 1990 trial in Tunis, under heavy security, drew crowds. Convicted on 14 counts, his defense cited brain injury and seizures, but clemency was denied. On November 17, 1990, at 3:15 a.m. in Naceur prison, he was hanged, lasting an eerie 14 minutes, matching his victims. His last words: "God forgive me.